What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfire's. Actually got a bit of an interesting one for you guys today because it is a leak, but it pertains a lot more to what's been going on in the rumor mill with the reactions to the test screenings over the last year or so than it does to revealing any specific plot points or details about the film. We're going to break down the latest leak that was posted yesterday and shared by industry insider My Time to Shine Hello, a screen capture of the apparent end credits that indicates that at the very least, some of the stuff we've been hearing about Captain America is just false. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. If that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you for our ongoing PS5 giveaways. We'll get into the giveaway stuff at the end of the video. Okay, so this is an apparent leak of the screen grab from Captain America's credit scene. This was shared yesterday on Twitter by industry insider and anonymous Twitter scoopster My Time to Shine Hello. And you can clearly see that at the top of the billing, you have Anthony Mackie and Danny Ramirez, presumably the lead and co-lead of the movie, but third billing is Shira Haas. Now, first and foremost, billing does matter. Usually where you are on the billing is either something you negotiated because of the size of the actor you are, but in Shira Haas's case, it's more to do with representing how big a role that you play in the film. And the reason this is super interesting that she's up in the third position right behind, well, Falcon and Captain America, is that there have been a myriad reports regarding her character and how Marvel Studios has decided to change it over the last year and a half when they've been doing reshoots. First, there were reports like these from the New York Times that after Backlash, quote, Marvel gives Israeli superhero a new backstory. There were also reports that the character had been cut completely from the film or had her role significantly diminished through the multiple rounds of reshoots they had shot over the last year and a half. Now, this was all said to be tied back to details we were hearing from people with the negative reactions to the test screenings that were going on, which were very prominent for about 3 months when they were actually doing those test screenings, as people would get out, claim they were in them, and say that the movie was absolute garbage. Now, as it turns out, there was one source, Daniel RPK, the industry insider we report on at the channel all the time, who 6 months ago issued this update, quote, Ruth Saber has reportedly not been cut from Captain America Brave New World. That's how frequent that rumor was, that she was removed completely, that he actually issued an update about it, and then went on to say specifically, quote, she is said to be very much a lead in this movie. So when we see the leaked credits like this, and not only did she get third billing, but she got a top line alongside the leads in this movie, it makes Daniel Rickman's update sound like it's 100% correct. But to a bigger point, what I was maintaining literally all last summer long, that you cannot listen to people who claim to be in these test screenings. First of all, a lot of people have to sign NDAs for that kind of thing, and it is a huge penalty if you get caught revealing that. It just simply wouldn't be worth it. Number two, it's exactly like the plot leaks that are written on 4chan and Reddit. Anybody, literally anybody can say they were there. Anybody can say they have industry insider knowledge and post it. Yeah, a couple of times those anonymous 4chan and Reddit posts have been true. That's why there's a little bit of, suspension of disbelief every time we get one, because you never know if this might be the one. But for the other 95% of it, as is with most things posted to internet and social media, in most cases it's just one person's opinion, but in some cases it's just categorically false. And so for a lot of these reports coming out, not only did we not have confirmation these people were actually in the theater, but if they were, their opinion is one of very few. Guys, as I mentioned in a previous video, I was at the first act test screening for Multiverse of Madness before I went to the red carpet premiere. I got to see the first 25 minutes of the film in a test screening capacity, where when we walked out, they asked us questions in our reaction. Let me tell you, there were only 15 people in that theater. So maybe we're talking about this movie screened for under 100 people, and if one of them is going to come out and say that the movie was trash, there's zero context for that. And so for a lot of you who watch channels like mine, who are the super fan, you should never let somebody else tell you how you should feel about something or go into it with some sort of pre-suspicion about it being bad because some random person on the internet, who for all you know is not a fan at all, said so. That's just not a great way to live your life, especially with the way social media has had so much pervasive false reporting on the MCU stuff. And honestly, it's as bad as it's ever been. It was really bad in Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. It has gotten even worse now. There are fake industry insider accounts who in some cases have tens of thousands of followers and look like the real ones, and people re-report on those. So more than ever at this point, the grain of salt comment that I make when we cover quote-unquote leaks is absolutely something that is still as apropos today as it ever was. And in the case of Captain America Brave New World, it turns out that some of these reports we were hearing about what they were changing for the test screenings because of people's negative reactions seem to just not be true. Now, is there some truth to things that were changed? Of course. Seth Rollins confirmed he was cut from the film. He's no longer in the Serpent Society. It looks like they've reworked all of those parts to include Seth Volker now. That's Giancarlo Esposito's character. They've reworked the Serpent Society, and that was probably for the best, considering, you know, that is a group of villains that could be done the wrong way, be very cheesy, and it looks like it might have come off that way to begin with. They also said to be vamping all of the end sort of third act huge action sequences for the climax of the film because those were said to come off flat. But revamping some action and or changing who a main character is, going from, say, Seth Rollins to Giancarlo Esposito and reworking the Serpent Society is not sort of reworking the entire film. There was not a major script rewrite. They did not change what the arc looks like for Anthony Mackie's Captain America, what's going on with Harrison Ford. They maybe just changed the CGI and the action sequences. Those are two totally different things. So I think there might have been a lot of fear about this movie being a mess because of those test screening reactions. I think that when you add on the year and a half of reshoots that they've been doing, people looked at those and said, well, those test screening reports must have been right. Look, they're doing all these reshoots. But really what I think it comes down to is this is just a major blockbuster for Marvel Studios that they wanted to make sure they invested in on every level. That's why they bring in Harrison Ford to star in the film alongside Anthony Mackie. And that's why, again, as we said in yesterday's video, with the way they've ramped up their marketing, how much the film cost in the first place, at best, even if it makes $1 billion, this may be a we're looking to break even endeavor for Marvel and Disney, which is just looked at as a bigger investment into the Avengers franchise. So all things considered, I am still super hyped for this film, and I think the lesson to be taken away from today is grain of salt truly means grain of salt. A lot of this stuff out here, if it's not coming from industry insiders with proven track records, is just really in most cases white noise. And as I said earlier in this video, on one hand it might just be someone's opinion, on the other hand it might just be completely errant, and honestly in a lot of cases maybe both. But you guys let me know all your thoughts and reaction down below to Captain America Brave New World in general. Have you bought tickets for this film? Are you going to see it opening weekend? And what is your hype level like for this, where it's Captain America versus Red Hulk? I honestly am hyped for it. I'm not going to let any of the negative reporting get me down. I can't wait to see this movie. I really hope Marvel delivers. You guys let me know all your thoughts quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, so we're still giving out PS5s. We got one for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's finale, one for Captain America Brave New World, one for Daredevil's finale, all coming out in the next couple of months. If you want to be entered for the giveaway, super simple. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Find me on Instagram or Twitter at IamFires. Find me on all platforms under the name AllFires. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.